evening, good afternoon, and good morning, you fantastic people, wherever you are. Welcome to Chibi Reads Reddit. I'm your host, Chibi99. Today's subreddit is r/Am I the Dingus. So sit back, get cozy, grab a drink, and let's read. Am I the dingus for telling my mom's family I don't owe her because she had gender disappointment? My mom never wanted a boy. She wanted girls. Apparently, her dream was 4 daughters, but she had me, 16th male first. I have seen photos and videos of the day I was born. She cried hysterically when they told her I was a boy. Then she refused to hold me. After we were cleaned up, she cried about not using the name she had chosen. Then she said she didn't know how to move on from it. All of it was caught in camera. Eventually, my paternal grandma took me, and she was the person to hold me in photos and videos taken during the rest of the hospital stay. My paternal grandma was my sole parent figure for the first 8 years of my life. She took care of me, and I spent so much time at her house. Sometimes I was there for weeks. Then she had a brain bleed and passed away. So I was left with a mom who wanted girls and not a boy, and dad who wanted to be a provider and nothing more. My mom had my sister, Lily, 2 years after. So mom got her girl, and Lily got all of her attention. Well, I got grandma until I was 8. And then, nobody. My mom and Lily are super close, and mom adores Lily. Lily got the bigger bedroom, she gets the gifts, she gets all of her favorite snacks, she gets to do all the extracurricular activities she could ever want, and her birthdays are huge parties with huge gifts. Christmas, she gets at minimum 25 gifts from mom alone. Mom typically gets me 1. Never anything I liked or want, thought that counts, which is 0. My mom's family don't act too interesting in making up for my lack of parental love. And in the last couple of years, mom and I have argued more, and I've given her a hard time. Dad's never around to give him one. But mom, if she wants to ignore me, then she can hear how crappy it is. And if she wants to treat my sister like the perfect angel, then she can hear all about it. Mom mentioned how I ruined her dream of 4 daughters. We were at my mom's parents' house Friday, and mom gushed about Lily doing good on a project and the scooter she got Lily to help her get around easier. She got Lily a custom helmet and a personalized lock for her scooter. She couldn't stop talking about it, and I told her she really does love to shower her favorite in gifts and praise. My mom's family told me I should take it easier on her, and I said I should understand we had some little troubles because of mom's gender disappointment. I told them I don't owe her jack because she had a gender disappointment and that I didn't ask to be born to a mom who only wanted daughters. They told me I lacked adult compassion. Am I the dingus? And we have a relevant top comment here by Front Scholar 9757. Not the dingus. Your mom is toxic and extremely shallow. So many out there are desperate to have a healthy baby regardless of gender. She was blessed with just that and regrets it. I'm so sorry your mom is like that, and for the loss of your grandmother. The good news is you're almost an adult. My advice is to focus on yourself and work hard so you can get out there. Then you can choose when you see her and in what capacity. Side note, I really hate the concept of gender disappointment and feel like it's becoming more obvious with these huge trendy gender reveals. Nobody needs to see their parents bratting because they're not what they expected. People need to grow the frick up and realize what's important in life. And I agree. OP, I really hope you're doing alright, man. And I hope you got away from your toxic as hell mother. We return to Am I the Jerk? Again, I found all these on the front page of Reddit, so yeah. When we go, am I the jerk for snapping at my sister when she tried to take my son due to her infertility? Nope. Let me start by saying that I love my sister Jenna. She's been there for me through thick and thin. We were raised in a tight-knit community, and despite our occasional squabbles growing up, we always had a strong bond. Or at least I thought we did. But recently, something happened that made me question everything. I, 35 male, have a 4-year-old son, Liam. He's the light of my life. I wasn't always planning on having kids. I wasn't against it, but I just didn't see myself as the dad type when I was younger. Things changed when I met my wife, Sarah, 7 years ago. We fell in love, got married, and after some long talks, we decided we wanted to start a family. It took us some time, but Liam came into our lives, and I couldn't be happier. My sister, Jenna, 38 female, on the other hand, has struggled with infertility for years. She and her husband, Mike, have been trying to conceive for as long as I can remember. They've gone through rounds of IVF, hormone treatments, you name it. I can't even imagine the emotional and physical toll it's taken on her. I've tried to be supportive in every way I could, listening when she needed to talk, helping her financially when they were going through expensive treatments, and just being there for her. But here's where things start to get complicated. Jenna has always had this aura around her. Like, no matter what, she always got what she wanted. She was the golden child growing up. Everyone admired her, and in a way, I did too. But there was always a sense of entitlement. Like, she expected life to keep rewarding her. So when she and Mike couldn't conceive, I think it shattered something in her. Over time, her behavior towards Liam began to change. At first, she was the doting aunt, showering him with gifts, visiting us all the time, offering to babysit whenever we needed a break. Gradually, her comments became more possessive. She'd say things like, "You're so lucky to have him. I wish I could just keep him for a few days." Or, "If Liam were mine, I'd do this, this, and that with him." I chalked it up to her frustration with not being able to have kids of her own and let it slide. I didn't want to make things harder for her than they already were. Then, about 6 months ago, Jenna and Mike announced that they were looking into adoption. Sarah and I were overjoyed for them. I thought this might be the turning point where she could finally move forward and find some peace. But after a few months, Jenna started making more intrusive comments about Liam. She'd ask if he could stay over for extended periods, or if she could take him out for the weekend to give us a break. She even started calling herself Mommy Jenna in front of him, which made me and Sarah deeply uncomfortable. We tried to brush it off as a joke, but it started happening more frequently. The breaking point came a few weeks ago, when Jenna came over for what I thought would be a casual dinner. Everything seemed normal at first. Liam was playing in the living room, Sarah was sitting at the table, and we were all chatting. But then, out of nowhere, Jenna said something that stopped me in my tracks. She said, "I've been thinking, and I think it's only fair that you let me take Liam for a while. I deserve this. You've already got what you wanted, and I've had to fight for everything in my life. I don't see why I can't have this too." I was stunned. I didn't know if I heard her right at first. She looked at me like what she said was the most reasonable thing in the world. I could feel the tension rising in the room. Sarah's face went pale, and I could see her grabbing at the edge of the table. I tried to stay calm, and I asked her, "What do you mean by that, Jenna?" She sighed, almost as if I was being difficult, and said, "I mean, you've always been the one who had everything come to you easily. You weren't even sure if you wanted kids, and now look at you. You've got this perfect little boy. I've been trying for years, and it's not fair. I'm his aunt, and I love him like he's my own. You know I'd be a great mom, so why can't you let me take him for a little while? I'll take care of him, and you can have a break." At that moment, something inside me snapped. All the years of supporting her, trying to be understanding of her pain, and dealing with her subtle digs at my life choices, all of it boiled over. I couldn't believe she was asking me to give her my son, like he was some kind of consolation prize for everything else that I hadn't gotten her way. I stood up, and in a voice louder than I intended, I said, "Jenna, are you out of your mind? Liam is my son, not some object you can just take because you think life hasn't been fair to you. I'm sorry you've struggled, but that doesn't give you the right to demand my child as if you were entitled to him. You've gotten everything else you wanted? That's not how life works. You don't get to borrow someone else's child because things didn't go your way. Jenna looked like I slapped her. She stood there, speechless, for a few seconds before she burst into tears and ran out of the house. Mike followed her, but not before shooting me a look that made it clear that he thought I'd gone too far. Sarah, who had been silent the whole time, finally spoke. I think you needed to say that, she said quietly, but I felt awful. Not because I didn't believe what I said, I absolutely stand by my words, but because I never wanted it to come to this. I never wanted to hurt my sister, especially given everything she's been through. But how could she think that taking Liam would ever be okay? Jenna hasn't spoken to me since. She's blocked me on social media, and even my parents have been hesitant to get involved. They told me Jenna is going through a hard time, and I should have been more understanding. But I'm struggling to see how I could have handled the situation any differently. Was I too harsh? Should I have been more patient, given everything Jenna has been through? Or am I justified snapping at her for trying to take my son? Am I the jerk? We have a top comment here by Writer Villain saying, not the jerk, something needed to be said. Jenna, after getting used to getting everything she wanted, needed to hear that. Your son is a living, breathing human, and not some object that can be shared. Your son is your son, and your wife are and you and your wife are alive, well, and healthy. Please change your locks. Don't give her, Mike, or your parents the key. Please stop letting Jenna babysit, as she might make up a story to prevent you from picking them up. And we have a second comment attached to this by Laughter Corky saying, get cameras around your home. Let daycare know Aunt Jenna cannot be picking him up anymore. She is dangerous. And I agree, she really needs some therapy. OP, keep your family safe, keep Liam safe, because she's beyond delulu Pro Max. She's bat crap crazy. Am I the dingus for accusing my mom of being selfish when she forces my twin sister's dad to include me? You read that right. My twin sister, 16 female, and I, 16 male, don't have the same dad. Mom slept with two guys close together and had us. DNA proved this too. It's always been a weird thing, and we get a lot of questions in real life. My sister's dad was willing to do the DNA test, took it, and showed he was her dad, but not mine. Excuse me. Mine had to be dragged to court, and he has found ways around paying for me, and he has his family, and he and his family never wanted to know me, so my sister grew up with the dad and I didn't. Mom didn't like that, and when we were young, 3 to 5 maybe, I apparently used to get so sad when she'd leave and go to her dad's house, and I couldn't go with her. I don't remember it, but I get why it'd be true. So Mom told him he had to include me, and he was like, nope, no way. It ended up in court with Mom wanting to take away his parenting time. The judge ended up saying he didn't have to take me for his custody time, but he had to include me in any big days out with my sister or for family holidays if she went along. He tried to get my mom to drop it, but she refused. So, ever since I was about 5 or 6, he has been forced to include me in his life sometimes and the lives of his family members. None of them want me there. I know they see me as this huge burden. I hated it. If I wasn't being ignored, they were just really short with me and made it so obvious that they didn't want me there. My sister was torn between me and her dad. I told her I didn't want to deny her a dad, so she never let it come between them. Or us. When I turned 13, I tried to put my foot down with my mom, but she told me I had to go, and she said she'd take his rear to court so fast if he let me wander off and didn't make sure I was okay, like he would with my sister. There's only 2 years left, but I can see how much my sister's paternal side despised me having her around. It sucks being forced somewhere that no one wants you. And my mom is still serious about taking them back to court. So I told Mom a couple of nights ago that she needs to stop. She can't keep doing this. She told me I don't deserve to be left without because of her actions. I told her she can't make them love me, and they have shown their disdain for me over the last 10 years now. I told her to let it go. She got so mad, she wanted to yell and cuss at them. I told her to stop being selfish and stop forcing them to include me because she's the only one who wants that, not me. I told her I never wanted this. Mom broke down, and then she told me I wasn't necessary to be cruel to her. Am I the dingus? Top comment here by Tangerine Bouquet saying, the only dingus here is your mother. This is not your father, it's your sister's father. She has that family. If they got to know you through her, they might have loved you for that, despite your mother. The way your mother went about it ensured hard feelings. I'm sorry your father wasn't involved and that you don't seem to have family on that side. This mess is of your mother's making. Anyway, not the dingus, and neither is your sister or her father. Dude, your mom should have never put you in this situation. She's only thinking about herself and what she wants, not what you need. OP, you, your sister, and her dad aren't the dingus. I just hope your mom realizes that she needs help. And we swing into the boomers being fools subreddit. If you want more, comment down below. We have, boomer accused me of abducting my own son. I, 31 male, recently took my son to a supermarket to get a few things. Same place I go to regularly with my kids. Background context, my son 4 has type 1 diabetes, and when his blood sugar is low, he can be a handful. About halfway around the shop, he started getting a bit irritated. Checked my phone, and yep, blood sugar was dropping. Stupidly, I left his sweets in the car, so I grabbed some and headed for the checkout. By the time we were done, he was getting very upset and wouldn't eat the sweets I had just bought. So it was time to beeline to the car to chill him out and give him some other sweets. At the exit to the store, I'm half dragging, half carrying my son and the bags of groceries. I don't like to make a big thing of his hypos because it's totally normal for him and it's not his fault. So I'm pretty chill, talking to him like, it's okay buddy, let's get to the car, etc. Suddenly, a wild boomer appears, grabs my son's arm, and starts talking to him.
Little boy, what's wrong? Who is this man and where is he taking you?
At this, my son goes full meltdown, so I pick him up and smile politely, and continue to leave. The boomer doesn't like this.
Excuse me, who do you... You can't take this boy. I am speaking to him. Who even are you? Where's his mother?
God forbid a guy can take his child anywhere without their mother. Imagine a father looking after his son, his own child. I start to explain that I'm his dad, he's not feeling so well, and we're leaving. At this point, she grabs me and starts shouting that I'm taking a child, broad daylight, in a busy supermarket. And let's not forget my own son. I am raging. Before I get a chance to verbally unleash on this idiot, a random guy comes over and tells her to screw off. At this point, my son is clinging to me and is terrified of the red-faced moron who is still screaming about me being a, PDF file. 10 out of 10 shopping experience. Would recommend.
The flippity doodah is wrong with people.
We have a top comment here by Nacho Girl 2003.
Jesus!
4 years old is pretty normal for a tantrum at the grocery store. If you were really kidnapping him, he clearly would have been more distressed. From an outsider's point of view, I would have just assumed your son was cranky, and you're just trying to wrangle him to get him shopping over with. Has she never seen an upset, tired/cranky child in public who just accuses someone of something so serious and possibly life-ruining at that? Even worse, she made your kid more upset than he already was. We have an attached comment by Cardinal Red who replies, "That's why it took me by surprise so much. From nothing to that in the space of like 30 seconds, plus the delay in getting him some sweets to get his blood sugar back down under control. Unbelievable." And this comment's followed up by Pomegranate Real 3620 saying, "My nephew was about that age when he threw a tantrum in the store. My brother was taking him to the car while my sister-in-law finished shopping." Looks like we've reached the end of today's video. But fret not, I'll be back Monday with more Reddit stories just for you. Want to get notified of the next video? Tap that bell icon. Want to subscribe? Tap the button. It's completely free. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, catch you later, my Chibi Dominators.